Okay, so what if I told you that one of the most brilliant investment plans ever created didn't come from Wall Street, but from a 400-year-old poem? Seriously. In this explainer, we're going to break down how William Shakespeare, of all people, laid out a wild, surprisingly modern strategy to make beauty last forever.
I mean, it's the ultimate question, right? We've all thought about it. You see something beautiful in a person, in nature, in yourself, and there's always that little voice that knows it's not going to last. So how do you beat the clock? How do you keep something so precious from just fading away?
Well, believe it or not, Shakespeare was convinced he had the answer, and he spelled it all out in his Sonnet 6. Now, this is not just some stuffy old poem. You have to think of it more like a proposal, a high-stakes business plan for preserving beauty against its greatest enemy.
All right, so first things first. Any good plan has to name the problem, right? And for Shakespeare, the number one enemy, the villain of the whole story, is time itself.
He gives us this incredible image here. He's talking about winter's ragged hand, that's old age, coming to literally tear apart and deface your summer, your youth, your beauty. You can feel the urgency in those words. He's shouting, you have to do something before you're distilled, which basically means before all that life and energy is gone.
So, the problem is on the table. The clock is ticking. Time is coming for your beauty, and if you do nothing, it's gone. But then, Shakespeare drops this little question. Does time really have to win? And this, right here, is where he completely flips the script. This is where the whole thing feels so incredibly modern. He says, stop thinking about your beauty as a thing you just possess until it rots away. Instead, think of it as capital. Think of it as money in the bank that you need to invest. He even uses a really specific financial term for it, usury. Now, back in his day, that was kind of a dirty word, often meaning predatory lending. But Shakespeare says this kind of usury, lending your beauty by having a child, is not only okay, it's a willing loan that actually pays you back with interest. So this is the choice he lays out. It's so clear. On one side, you can just hoard your beauty. But if you do that, it's self-killed. It literally dies with you. A total loss. On the other side, you can make that willing loan, invest it, and actually get a return.
Now this is where the sales pitch gets really good, because any smart investor wants to know about the return, right? Well, Shakespeare isn't promising some tiny little profit. He's promising a massive, massive payday.
That's right, a 10x return. He's not just saying you'll break even or get a one-for-one replacement. He's talking about multiplying your initial investment by 10.
And he's not just making that number up. It's right there in the text. The promise is that you'll be 10 times happier if you have 10 for 1, 10 kids to carry your beauty into the future. It's an incredibly bold and direct promise.
And this is absolutely crucial to understand. The real return on this investment isn't just a carbon copy of you. The real dividend is an explosion of happiness. By passing on your beauty, you are literally multiplying joy for yourself and for the world.
But wait, there's more. The stakes get even higher. This whole investment strategy isn't just about getting richer in happiness or outsmarting time. Shakespeare claims it's about defeating the final boss, death itself.
I mean, just listen to that question. He's practically taunting death. He's saying, okay, death, you think you're so tough? If this person follows my plan and makes this investment, what can you really do to them when they die?
And here's the knockout answer. This is the ultimate payoff. Death can take your body, sure, but it can't touch your legacy, because you are left living in posterity. You found a loophole. You've achieved a kind of immortality, because your essence is still alive, passed on through your children. Okay, so like any great salesman, Shakespeare saves the really scary part for last. He paints this horrifying picture of the alternative, the terrible price you'll pay if you don't take this deal. What happens if you just say no?
He lays out these grim consequences. If you're self-willed, or just plain selfish, and you hoard your beauty, it doesn't just vanish. No, it becomes death's conquest, like a trophy on death's wall. And the only thing you leave behind, the only heir to your treasure? Worms.
And he just lands the plane with these two devastating lines. It's this incredibly passionate plea. Don't be selfish, he says. You are way too beautiful, way too valuable to just end up as a victory for death and food for worms. So in the end, Shakespeare's 400-year-old investment plan is really a deep argument about legacy. It's this powerful idea that the things we have, our beauty, our talents, our knowledge, are only truly valuable if we pass them on. And that leaves all of us with a much bigger question to think about.
What is the best way to invest your legacy?